You've seen the scale, you've seen the fringe, but now we're getting personal and we're stepping into conversations that really matter. In part 3, we join a 7 a.m. networking running group and hear from their founder about how the most meaningful connections are built. We also join an invite-only lunch and explore the power of relaxed human networking and see how trust is built around the table, not across the table. And if you think the weekends when the sun goes down, stay tuned, because cans at night, that's a story in itself. Don't forget to subscribe so you're first to see what's coming next. During a conference that's known for late night parties, rooftop receptions and champagne-fueled networking, there's another side to MIPIM that few talk about, and that's the side that starts before 7 a.m. While most are still sleeping or recovering from the night before, a dedicated group are lacing up, showing up and starting their day differently. Health first, head clear, intentional. This is the Property Sports Network, an informal early morning community of real estate professionals who choose to connect through movement instead of meetings. Every morning during the event, they gather to run along the Croisette or flow through yoga sessions before the emails start and the schedules kick in. It's not just fitness, it's high trust, human first networking. At the heart of it all is Andrew Link, the founder of the Property Sports Network. We caught up with him to find out why this matters and how health and connection go hand in hand. Hello Andrew, thanks for taking the time to talk with me. Some of the best business conversations happen outside the boardroom. What do you think makes a run like this such a great networking tool?
I think the runs are a great networking tool because they're quite fluid, so people get to move around the group with ease. So on an hour's run, it's possible to meet lots of people. And from those initial conversations, they can pick up in more depth later if they feel like there's a common business interest. Meeting someone on the morning run also has the advantage of the fact that you're more likely to remember them than if you've met them late night in a bar, having had a few too many to drink.
You've been organising these runs for a while. What's the most unexpected connection or deal you've seen or heard happen during the runs?
There's plenty of deals that get done on the run and new relationships formed. I frequently get told by people that they've made the best connections of the week during those morning sessions and have led to new business opportunities. The group's become quite big now, so I don't get to meet everybody who comes along. But my strangest personal story was around in 2018. I was doing a 100-mile running race and I'd been going for about 12 hours. I was just about to come to a night section, which I wasn't looking forward to doing by myself. I stopped to get a TED torch out of my bag, and just as I was fumbling around my bag to find the torch, a gentleman ran up next to me and we kind of looked at each other and we both recognised each other from one of the MIPIM runs a couple of years before, a guy called Stuart from KPMG, who I'm still in regular contact with. So it was an amazing sort of connection to make, and such a strange, bizarre place to meet each other on the middle of a 100-mile race.
MIPIM has a reputation for late nights and big parties, but you're proving that early mornings have their own power. Do you think the culture of networking at events like this is changing?
I definitely think the culture of MIPIM is changing. There's definitely more and more people who want an alternative MIPIM, and there's more events on the main conference and also the fringe, which kind of cater for it. There's obviously the cycle to MIPIM, there's now swim MIPIM, there's plenty of paddle events going on, plus our run and yoga events. I think it's great to have a balance, and there's definitely demand.
For someone coming to Cairns for the first time, what's your best advice for making connections?
If you're planning to come to MIPIM for the first time alone, I wouldn't worry. It's a very welcoming environment. Everybody's here to make new connections. There's lots of events that people put on to kind of open doors and facilitate those relationships. So everybody's open to being approached, and events like ours obviously try and help that happen as efficient as possible. So if you do come along to MIPIM, don't forget 7 o'clock in the mornings. We've got the runs, 7:30 we've got the yoga, and we also do a welcome run on the Monday evening for those who are maybe first timers who want to meet a handful of people on that first day before the week begins.
It's not about distance, it's about discipline, showing up for yourself and for each other. And the space between breaths and strides, something shifts, barriers drop, conversations deepen, and relationships form that last far beyond can. Because whether it's running at dawn or dining at dusk, the real magic of this week is in the moments where connection comes naturally. And that brings us to one of the most powerful formats of all, the private table, the kind of conversation you just can't have in a crowd. In a week where tens of thousands gather, sometimes the most valuable conversations happen in the quietest rooms. No name badges, no stages, just people around a table and the space to really talk. During a conference known for its noise, there's a kind of power in choosing stillness, a meal, a moment, a meeting that isn't rushed or transactional, but human. This is where trust is built, ideas sharpen and partnerships begin. I sat down with Steve and Graham from Interact National, a UK-based invite-only networking group that's been hosting a private MIPIM lunch for years. Their philosophy is simple: create the right environment and the business follows.
So I've been an Interact member for 25 years now, and been coming to MIPIM for the last 15 years, and I initiated the Interact lunch probably about 10 years ago now. So every year we've got together in different venues around the fringe of MIPIM. It's a really great opportunity for those of us that subscribe to coming as ticket holders, to those that, and let's face it, a lot of people don't get tickets down here, but it's a really great networking opportunity.
I mean, do we do business here? I think around the table at lunch today, several people stood up and introduced their guest. I don't know how many, 7, 8 people said, and I met my guest here last year. I met my guest here last year, and my guest is a London-based property developer. Admittedly, I met him inside the bunker, but we still met at MIPIM. We've worked together this year. We're delivering a sizable scheme together. He's come along for lunch. He's met other people I know, other colleagues. He's heard those colleagues talk about me in a positive way. So it's all cemented the relationship, really. But yeah, I get business out of coming to MIPIM. I wouldn't bother.
Yeah, and I think if you come with the intention of doing business and you've got an open mind about who you're talking to and what you learn from it, and take that away and do something with it, then you will make business out of it.
There are hundreds of these tables at restaurants around Cairns during the week. Other people I spoke to echoed the same thought. There's something different about having the conversations that you can have over lunch.
You end up meeting people that you would take a year to meet in 3 days.
We had about 30 people in a room. These are people you'd never get to pin down in London for a whole afternoon spent with them, and you're doing business in about 2 or 3 hours. I've made many connections that I wouldn't have done, and it would have taken me months in London to get bookings in with.
But building those relationships is worthwhile, that investment. Meeting new people, developing the relationships you have with people, really strengthen the connections you have with clients, suppliers, people in the industry, that you can help meet others as well.
There's something about a table like this. You walk in with business cards and you walk out with relationships. And when the lunch ends, the conversations don't. They shift, they deepen, and for some, they move on into the night. As the sun sets, Cairns' tempo changes again. The suits loosen, the lanyards are left behind, and the city takes on a different energy, one that's slower, warmer, and surprisingly powerful. The old town, a maze of cobbled streets, tucked away restaurants, and the kind of places where hierarchy disappears and everyone's just themselves. And at the centre of it all is the Rue de Souquet. The old town isn't glamorous, it's not sponsored, there's no dress code, no PR team, no entry list. But ask around and you'll hear the same thing: this is where the magic happens. Because by this point in the night, everyone's guard is down, the conversations are more honest, the connections feel real. It's where trust is built, not because somebody planned it, but because the setting allows it. You could walk past Charly's bar and not think much of it, but for those in the know, it's part of a different map, a map of cans that's built on relationships and not logos.
Charly's Bar is a great meeting point, and it kind of builds during the week. There's a lot of people in the early week part of MIPIM want to get their work done, business done, but maybe on the Thursday night particularly, it's getting towards the end of the week, Charly's Bar will host, you know, it's a small, tiny little bar really, up in Old Cannes, and it attracts a massive crowd of people, a lot of Brits predominantly, and we often get a playlist up that one of the guys does the DJing, and I guess dancing, and more dancing, and more dancing, and you know, a little bit of drinking, but yeah, absolutely.
Because the rumours are, these are only rumours, I've not witnessed it with my own eyes, Ray, is that you're quite nifty on the feet.
Yes, he is. He's a legend.
Travolta-esque, I would say.
Travolta-esque. When Ray, I mean, it's only a small nightclub, but you remember the famous John Travolta scene in the film where the dance floor, people move to one side. Well, it's just like that when Ray goes on the dance floor, because people are looking at him thinking, "Oh my God, we didn't realise we had someone with that talent in our midst."
No, but I think it's more they're clearing the space thinking, because he's going to need bloody, you know,
going to need some support.
He's going to need a paramedic in a moment.
Yeah, but
And that's really what this film has been about, because whether it's a 7 a.m. run, a long lunch, or a beer in the Old Town, the most meaningful moments happen when we drop the formality and just connect. So what have we learned? Let's just take a step back and reflect. When we set out to make this video, we thought it might be a 5-minute highlight reel, a quick behind the scenes look at cans during MIPIM week. But once we started filming, we realised there was a much bigger story to tell. So many of you shared incredible insights, moments and reflections that it grew into something much more. A full 3-part mini-series exploring the human side of the event. In part 1, we introduced the scale of MIPIM, the numbers, the energy, the global reach, and how the real actions often starts before the badges are even scanned. We joined the Can Express, where networking begins on the tracks, long before the red carpet. In part 2, we shifted our focus to the fringe, the cafes, the informal meetings, the spontaneous conversations that are every bit as valuable as the panels and the presentations inside the Palais. We heard from first-timers, regulars, and 2 legends of the scene, Norman and Ray, whose stories showed us just how powerful these connections can be when they're built in the right setting. And in this episode, part 3, we're exploring what happens when you slow things down over a long lunch, or a sunrise run, or a late night drink in the Old Town. It's not about chasing business cards, it's about showing up with the right mindset in the right places at the right time. Personally, it's reminded me what this industry is all about, trust and timing, and being open to conversations that don't always start with an agenda. Cans has been good to us. Over the years, it's helped raise the profile of Spatial Dimensions and open doors we might never have walked through. And it's given us the chance to sit across the table from people who genuinely care about what they do. But the truth is this, the real value hasn't come from the panels or the pitch decks or even the parties. It's come from the relationships, the honest ones, the conversations that happen when no one's trying too hard, over a coffee on a run or walking back from dinner down a quiet back street at midnight. And that's what this whole series has been about really, the human side of what we do, the unofficial stuff that doesn't make the programme but makes all the difference. And I've learned something else this year too. You don't need to say yes to everything. You don't have to chase every invite or stay out every night. There's definitely a balance to be struck between networking and well-being, between showing up for the moment and being able to show up again the next day. Burning the candle at both ends is definitely a fast track to burnout, and this industry is too demanding, too personal, and too important to run on fumes. So take the meetings, go for the run, show up for the people who matter, but remember, you get the best out of cans when you bring your best version of yourself to it. And because we've had so many great conversations along the way, we've got one more bonus episode for you. Part 4 is going to feature the full uncut interview with the Godfathers of MIPIM, Norman and Ray. They've been coming to cans longer than most of us have had LinkedIn profiles. And their take on how the event has changed, what stayed and what the same, is absolute gold dust. This video drops next week, so if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. Follow Spatial Dimensions on LinkedIn and YouTube. Finally, if you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed the series. I wanted to say a heartfelt thanks to everyone who's given up their time to be interviewed, invited us to events, or just shared a story off the camera. This wouldn't have been possible without you. A massive shout out to the team in the office who brought it all to life, from early morning shoots to late night edits, and you know who you are. This has been one of the most rewarding videos we've ever made, and we hope it's just a start. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again really soon.